Greetings, welcome to Razor Tree Productions. I have been tagged by Cinderfall Gaming to participate in the I Am A Wargamer challenge. It's where YouTube creators go on and answer 3 questions to the community or to anybody who happens to watch. The first question is, let me check my notes. How did you get into wargaming? How could I not remember that? I'm very good at this. I got into wargaming technically around 2000, 2001. When I was about to graduate high school. And that was when I bought a box or several boxes of Dark Elves from the trunk of someone's car in a dark parking garage. And that's not hyperbole or whatever the word is for that. That's actually what happened. And I never got any games in. I taught myself how to paint terribly because at that time I had dial-up internet and there was no YouTube, no painting tutorials and such. So I just found paints at Walmart, painted straight from the tube, put it right on the model, and it looked terrible. Most of them were painted already, but the ones I did try to paint, they were pretty obvious. Those have shown up on the channel at this point, though, because I got them back. But what really got me started in wargaming was more recently, about 3 years ago, I believe. A lot of the folks you see on the channel, Brian and Sean and my wife Chris, we all were playing Dungeons and Dragons quite a bit, and we wanted to start using models. So I went to the store to our friendly local comic book store, FLGS, friendly local gaming store, to buy some models of any kind. Didn't know what was out there, and saw Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and was like, "Oh, Age of Sigmar must be an expansion." I didn't know Fantasy World had blown up, and it had moved into what it had, but we bought a Storm of Sigmar. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's that little box set that comes with like 3 Retributors, 5 Liberators, some Blood Reavers, and some Blood Warriors. But it was just for us, it was like, oh, look, Paladins and Barbarians and stuff for $35. I'll take it. And from there, a longtime friend of ours named Dave heard that we bought models and was like, "Oh, are you actually going to play Warhammer?" Like, well, I don't know. We're just going to play D&D and use models, but turns out there's a pretty cool game with it. We should try it. Looks like it's a lot easier to understand than it was back in Fantasy, which was not at all for me. And anyway, our friend Dave, moving on, he used to be into Warhammer pretty heavily, apparently, and he got real excited that we wanted to play. And one Christmas, a Vanguard box shows up on my doorstep. It's the Vanguard Brotherhood Battle Force box, and I was all in at that point. Like, oh wow, these Paladin guys can shoot too. Let's have fun. Let's play the game. And I went all in with that. And shortly after that, he was diagnosed with ALS, and it's pretty rapidly taking him at this point. So you'll see a lot of stuff on our channel about, supporting ALS charities, and that's directly why, is because it's Dave's wish that we do that. And I'm very happy to oblige. He's still very much into the wargaming. He can't do it anymore, but he does love watching the videos. So it's very fun for us to create the videos for us to watch and for him to watch as well. The main reason we made the channel was so all of us could watch each other play. And it started off with, I just wanted to show what kind of play groups there are out there. Because at the time, it was just the heavy hitters, really. It was like mini wargaming and re-rolling ones. And I mean, that was about it at the time that I knew of. I'm sure there were more, but years ago that weren't as many of us out there as there are now. Thankfully, there's a lot more because they've been very, very good to the community, especially re-rolling ones, teaching people how to record battle reports and encouraging them and promoting them, myself included. I just lost my train of thought. I'm so good I should have written something down, but I was like, it's questions. I'll just answer them. But we wanted, going back to why we started filming battle reports. Another thing was for our own personal tactics is like, if we go back and have video footage of our games, we can go see the rules we missed. We can see tactics we missed. We can see gameplay errors we made, and we've, got it there to really, really study, and help ourselves. And it has helped. I still miss rules all the time, but it's still helping. But other than that, really, Dave is a big driving force behind us being into wargaming, and will continue to be so. And it's just Age of Sigmar is amazing. And I have to say, I've been in a lot of different gaming communities, either just because I got into them or just because I happen to play the games. Uh, I guess the most recent before this one was Legend of the Five Rings collectible card game community, which was an awesome community. But I've been around Magic and been around X-Wing and stuff like a bunch of different other stuff like that, Dungeons and Dragons, Dresden Files, Rifts, different groups. And while they're all amazing groups, because they are, the Age of Sigmar wargaming community has been the friendliest, the most outgoing, and the most encouraging gaming community I've been in. And I just want to thank everybody for that, because it really keeps me going and makes a wonderful hobby so much more than just the hobby. So that's very appreciated. Anyway, done with my rant on that question. The second question is, where do you want your channel to go? At this point, as of the recording of this video, I'd like it to get to 1,000 subscribers, because apparently things happen there, and I would like that. Eventually, I don't know that Age of Sigmar or Wargaming has the ability to go full-time necessarily. It does. I mean, mini Wargaming is full-time, but it's not a lot of people have the facilities or capacity to do that. And I don't know that I'm ready to take that kind of risk. So I mean, I still have my full-time job and I love it, but at some point I would like the hobby to pay for itself, I guess, would be like peak for me. I love posting the videos. I love making the videos. It's fun for me to edit. It's fun for me to do all of the tweaking and everything in there. That's just that's another part of the hobby for me, is filming and editing. And I get to put my music on there too, which is also fun for me, because at least it gets used somewhere. And let's see. Really, I want the channel to keep growing naturally. If people like it, I want it to grow. If they don't, then I want them to know that. I want to know that. But I'm always going to post what we want to post, and by we I mean like our group. Like me and my wife play and post games. She does Sigmar art, so we put it on the channel, and it has videos. We've got some podcasts just because we felt like having one and talking, so we put it on there. I've got some rules discussion videos just because it's fun to talk about, and I really like having a source to go uh, to talk about it, because sometimes just reading the rules or the discussions can get a little confusing. And I've got just a short, succinct videos to go over stuff like that, and that helps me. So I hope it helps someone else. In the end, is if it's entertaining for me, then it's gonna go up, or if it's entertaining for Sean, Brian, or Chris, and it's gonna go up. On damned be the algorithm. But yeah, I would like it just to keep growing naturally. If it's something we keep having fun doing, we're going to keep doing it. And if it's something people still enjoy watching, we want them to keep doing so. So it's not like a huge business plan. Although I mean, I'm I have an obsessive personality, so I still try to treat it probably with more effort than I should. But I can't help myself. That's just how I am. That's what's gonna happen. Other than that, I think that about covers question number 2. Last question is advice for new wargaming YouTubers. First and foremost, do it. Seriously, I mean, it's fun to do. The barrier for entry is quite minimal, because a cell phone and free editing software can get you going. Know what you like to see and figure out how to replicate it as easy as you can. Like we started with just, can I get shots in? Can I make it look like a video? And then from there it was, can I edit the video? And then from there it became, okay, what kind of things do I like to see? Let's put that. What do I not like to see? Let's figure a way around it. Some examples is movement phase. I personally get bored watching movement phases, even though that's one of the most tactical parts of Age of Sigmar, is movement and deploying, in my opinion. But when you are watching a battle report, it gets a little tedious to me when I'm watching one to see it all, because then you can just see the end results and know who ran and all that. So that's what I did. That was our first big step on the channel, was just having a still shot of the movement phase start, still shot of the movement phase end, fade it together, and then go over what happened without having to watch it all. So it saved time on editing, which is great because rendering takes forever. And it's more entertaining for me to see. The second thing I did, just again, a personal decision, was I got bored during combat if it was just the dice on camera. So we have shots where you see the units in combat, and then there's a picture-in-picture shot that we record separately of the dice rolls as they happen, and I just put them on top of each other. So if you're watching, then you see models at all times instead of, you know, a screen full of dice, which again, there's nothing wrong with that, but on a personal level, I don't like seeing it, so I'm gonna put what I like to see in the battle reports. My general rule is if I get bored watching it back, our battle reports, if I get bored watching it back, then everyone else is too. So I start to think what to do with that. But yeah, start small. Going back to the beginning, start small. Just, you know, use your cell phone, see if it's fun. Do a small point game, just so there's less to keep track of. Um, and just see if you enjoy recording and playing, because it can be tedious. So if you don't enjoy it, it may not be worth it. Uh, After that, it's quality of life adjustments to the recording. Is, you know, make sure you have good lighting, which I don't mean like expensive lighting. I mean just a good amount of light on the table that's, you know, directed towards the table, so it picks up on camera better. For audio, control your room as best as you can. So if you've got a noisy room, like my house, well, it's not my house, it's my grandfather's house, but it is 30 something years old and a lot of original everything. So it has an incredibly loud air conditioning system. Stuff echoes through the place. There's a lot of medical equipment that is loud that's going off. We have, you know, children and loud neighbors. Not that it's a bad thing, but like, you know, they'd be mowing their lawns or doing yard work or working in their shop and stuff, and all that noise just bleeds right into the house. So, and we have window units. You know, it's lots of stuff that creates noise. Anything you can do to turn all that stuff off, turn the ceiling fans off, uh, get in a quiet room. All the stuff you can do before editing to fix things makes your life so much easier when you are editing. Because whoever ends up doing the editing is going to be spending a lot of time editing. So again, make sure you enjoy it. Otherwise, it may not be worth it. But again, I really enjoy editing. I used to do music and audio engineering. So moving that over to video has just been really fun for me. Let's see, what's another one? Another big one that we found out is a lot of the clicks and clangs and all that pick up really well on pretty much every mic. So when you're rolling dice, don't try not to talk while you're rolling or while you're shaking the dice in your hand, because we all do it. I mean, I do it all the time. Uh, it was a hard habit to break for me, but try to get your dice all shook up, then say what you're going to say, then roll the dice, or say what you're going to say, then shake the dice. Just don't let them overlap, because when you try to edit audio, that's just going to come across as just a huge clack, 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 and you're not going to be able to hear everything. It's going to peak your audio and make your speakers sound bad. Yeah, that's a easy fix. Yeah, once you actually start recording battle reports, just go one step at a time, play games that are fun for you. And what we do, and what I do, because I do pretty much all the editing and recording, is I try not to change. That was about to be a really clunky sentence. Trying to change but one thing. I only try one new thing per battle report. So when we went to the picture-in-picture in combat, I only did it. That was the only new thing I did for that battle report. It was like, okay, the way I've recorded it so far, everything's going to be that way, and I'll try this one new step. If I like it, I'll keep doing it. If I think of a better way, I'll adjust it. If I don't like it, I'll scrap it, try something new next battle report. At this point, we're trying to think of stuff to do to make it more entertaining to see, but I've been pretty busy with the chillins. Got 3 kids now. It's awesome. But also don't be afraid. Nope, lost it. That's not what I'm trying to say. Social media is terrible and addictive. So try not to, don't worry about what people are saying. Don't worry about the negative comments unless it's just all you get. And then maybe there's something to be said there. but I have a problem with this, so I guess I'll give this advice: stay away from looking at your stats and the algorithms and all that stuff, because it'll just suck you in, and you won't be able to get away from it. So just stay away from it. Don't worry about what your, in a sense, don't worry about what your views are. Don't worry about all that. If you're having fun, you like doing it, then just keep doing it. It's going to come across on camera. People will pick it up, and it will come with time. I mean, it's taken this channel 2 years to get where it is now, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can post one video a week, but I mean that's like end goal kind of stuff, because it's pretty difficult to do that. Uh, so don't stress about it. Just post what you can post, record when you can record, and just make sure you're maintaining the fun factor, because we start losing that, it's just not worth doing anymore. It's a hobby. Keep it your hobby. Hobbies are supposed to be entertaining. They're supposed to be a good release. They're supposed to help you. They're supposed to improve your quality of life. So if they stop doing that, maybe rethink what you're doing. If it helps or enhances, like it does for us, it really enhances my whole hobby experience to have the channel. So that's why I keep going. Other than that, I think I've ranted and raved long enough. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. I don't know who I'm going to nominate yet. I have an idea, but I don't know if they've been nominated already. So I will do that post-recording, and you'll see in the description who I am going to tag in this I Am A Wargamer challenge. But also, if you are not a content creator, but you're just a wargamer, want to post your first video, want to do something, or just want to post this, answer the questions too. I'll put the questions down in the comment, and we'd love to basically hear from everybody in the community we can about how did you get into wargaming? And that's the main one, is how did you get into wargaming? And if you have a channel, the other two questions, please, let's go for it. It's just a fascinating community, and it's such a huge demographic for players, and it's just awesome. So I'd love to hear from everybody as well. Other than that, you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that at razortreeproductions.com. We do have a website, razortreeproductions.com, that has links to everything, including our Patreon, all the social media and all that in one place, so you don't have to fish for it everywhere. Other than that, I want to thank Luke for inviting me to this and tagging me for this. I had fun ranting and rambling. It's something I do often, even if no one's listening. Anyway, I appreciate it. Have a wonderful war game.